All right, I'll call the Tuesday, September 19th, 2023 meeting of the Wethersfield Planning and Zoning Commission to order. Without a vice chair or a clerk, I guess I'll take the roll. I'm here. Jim Hughes.
Yep.
George Oikel.
Here.
Tom Deane.
Here.
Tony Humicki.
Here.
Dave Edwards, not here. Dave Drake.
Here.
Joe Ercolani.
Here.
Pete Lambruni.
Here.
And Fred Presley is here. All right, so that makes 8 of us. Everybody will be seated. We have one public hearing tonight. The way we work them is we hear from the applicant, maybe some back and forth with members of the commission. Once that's been completed, we'll open it up to members of the public who wish to speak on the application. They come forward, say what they would like about the application. Then once that's done, we have the applicant come back and, if necessary, respond to the public comment and to, clear up any additional final questions that the commission may have. If after that we realize that we have enough information to make an intelligent decision on the application, we'll vote to close the public hearing and go into deliberations and probably act on the application. If after the public hearing portion we realize there's still information that we need in order to make a proper determination, we may vote to continue the hearing to our next meeting, at which point the applicant will present the additional information and the public can speak again. So with that, first item tonight, 3.1, public hearing, 215823Z, Susan Alderman seeking special permit in accordance with section 510, mixed residential and commercial uses of the Wethersfield zoning regulations for retail sales at 265 to 267 Main Street. If you want to come up, just please identify yourself by name and address for the record and tell us what it is that you'd like to do.
I'm Susan Alderman at 265, 267 Main Street. And I do have some more pictures. You had some already, but I have 4 more. That are the front door, entranceway to the shop that was there previous. My mother had a shop there 25 years ago in this little 10 by 10 room. And it was a building that was residential in '73. And my parents restored it to a business. My father's real estate out front and my mother's shop in the back. So I've inherited it 4 years ago when my mother passed. And she hadn't used it for 25 years. So I have a house full of things attached to it. There's a house attached to this building, which is a retirement house my parents built in '94. And the building is filled with furniture from a house down the street that I lived in on Main Street, and it's 9 rooms. And so those 9 rooms of furniture, nice antique pieces, have come into this retirement home. And I am alone there, so I would like to sell a lot of it, about good 5 rooms of furniture. So I've applied for a special permit to sell those things, in addition to my mother's shop things and my father's office things. Desks, chairs from Dad's office, and my mother had a shop, so she has lithographs that were all village scenes that look like Wethersfield. There's 9 different ones. There's about 100 of each that she didn't sell. And I have enough of her things and his things and artwork from the house even to sell from that little room. So that's what I'm here.
What little room?
That little room that you saw today.
Well, I guess
You've got a lot of space filled with things. You really have quite a collection. I got a sign in the.
Well, I can pick things from the house, and I have pictures of everything that's big on the wall in that little room. So if someone wanted to see a hutch or something, a big piece of furniture, I was thinking through the estate sale research I did to bring them in, see if they liked it, and bring them back out to that little shop, because my house is connected with one door. But research shows me that I should not bring people in and out of my house, that I have now Joel and Brian movers, that if someone wanted something, I will make an appointment with them and say, my movers will move that to your house and take it out of my house, which is safer for everybody.
This is what we were given.
Yep.
Is the yellow highlighted room the one that you're talking about?
Yes.
In this room?
Yeah, it's approximately 10 feet by 10 feet.
Okay. What's in front of it?
The office building is leased to an investor right now for the past 5-6 years. And about 20 years before that to another investor.
So is that 265?
Yes,
That's two-
that's the restored house that was made into a business.
That's 260, and on the side, because I saw on the side door it was 267. Am I right?
No, 265's on the side door.
On the side door, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the part behind this yellow is your house?
Yeah, the attached house.
And that's solely residential?
Yeah.
Okay. How many parking spaces are there on site for the whole thing?
There's 2 out front, and I'm right across from the church parking lot, so I have plenty of parking.
How many are on this property?
Main Street parking are 2 in front of me.
Okay, so there's no parking on this?
None on the property, they're Main Street
Okay,
parking.
yeah,
Are you referring to the driveway, Rich?
I'm talking about this whole property,
Yeah.
whether there are,
You can't park on that driveway?
No,
Okay.
that's my driveway for my house, to go around to the back.
You could, but you couldn't get by, and you'd have to really redo it.
It's a car's
It's not really
width,
a driveway with up to speed, really.
it's a car's width of
Yeah.
width.
It is. It's narrow.
yeah, I'm just trying to get the lay of the land because the application's a little vague and the town engineer specifically mentioned that it doesn't talk about, any additional parking spaces required for converting portion of the business from residential to commercial, and so apparently there is none, so. And whether building access to the new commercial areas and parking for the new commercial areas will be designed to meet ADA standards. So I guess that's a no.
ADA means what?
Americans with Disabilities?
Handicap, right?
Yeah.
You mean on site?
Well, yeah, or, yeah, I mean, that's what Derek's memo says.
Rich,
Peter.
I'm a little confused about this as well. Is this 10 by 10 space residential now?
It's always been in the commercial building,
So it's already commercial.
already commercial.
So what's the request then?
That I have a special permit to sell in it, to sell things.
You're not allowed to sell in the commercial space?
Well, I mean, I guess if, I'll admit to being equally confused.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe only, a change of use from office to retail.
Oh, okay.
Tom?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'm a bit confused myself. Coming into this meeting, I had kind of assumed that the current zoning of the property was a mixed residential and commercial, and that the application was essentially an application to alter that by special permit to mixed residential and retail commercial. And I'm not sure if that holds true, because not stated here is what really is the property zoned currently and what does the property need to be rezoned to be to accomplish the objective of the applicant? And I'm not sure, because the application is really, silent on that point, and the applicant has not indicated that she has read or studied the memorandum of the town officials that have submitted memorandum, specifically the representative of the Historic District Commission, the town engineer, and the town fire marshal. And any kind of change any kind of use change on property does affect the various codes that are applicable to each of the enforcement responsibilities of each of those officials. And the applicant has not indicated that she's aware of what those requirements are, or that she has researched them or has discussed them with the applicable officials. And so this
I
commission
just
is
received
relatively
them.
confused about what you really want to achieve, and more importantly, whether you understand what you need to do in order to accomplish such a change.
Well, to me, it was always commercial, and I don't see
But that's
anything
not
then.
What you think it is isn't important. What is important is what it is under the law. And
My information
you
was-
don't indicate that you have,
No.
knowledge of what your
That's
responsibilities
right.
are.
I don't. I just received the emails yesterday, and I don't really know what they all mean.
Well, there's also another issue. The fire marshal's bringing up another point. If it's a change in use and if we're to approve it, you could be subject to putting in, for example, sprinklers in that 10 by 10. Because current laws may require sprinklers in that retail space. I mean, you have to understand that. That's very expensive.
Also, it doesn't seem to me that you have, a long-term change in mind, that you basically want to accomplish this change in order to get rid of, an existing stock of stuff that you have, and then when that's done, then your objective is completed. You're not going to have a permanent retail store.
I do have enough things that were my mother's artwork, yeah.
To have an ongoing business for year after year after year?
I have 9 different lithos, and there's 100 of each.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get, not to cut anybody off, but I mean, this is a special permit for the property, not a special permit for her. So if somebody wants to sell bongs in there 10 years from now, it's still, retail space. So, frankly, I think, given the memo from the historic district, from the building official, from the fire chief, rather than making you speculate about what things are and what these things mean, I'd frankly be inclined to encourage you to allow us to continue this hearing to next time, so that you can talk to these people and they can tell you exactly what it is that, if anything, that they need, because, I think they may or may not have an understanding of the space and the use that you propose, and having a conversation with them about that may make things clearer both for them and for you going forward, because, frankly, at this point, I don't think, we would be in a position to be able to grant you this, and I don't want to deny it, or, even go in that direction without giving you the opportunity to sort things out with, the fire marshal, the building inspector, and HDC, because it does seem like something that could easily be worked out. I just want to have that happen.
Sure,
I don't know.
that'd be great.
George?
Yeah, Rich, I think you're right. I was down there and visited with her today just to see what it was, because I was as confused about what she really wanted and what was there. There's a massive amount of things there that need to be sold over time, and it's going to take a lot of time. I was, but I'm not sure what she wants or what she wants to do in the near future. And so I think your suggestions are appropriate here.
Yeah, I mean, the alternative is that we would put all kinds of stipulations on it that,
Yeah.
you know, may or may not be acceptable to you.
Exactly.
So, you know, that really wouldn't accomplish what anybody wants to do here.
And sometimes talking with our local officials, building officials, planning and zoning people, even the town manager, and tell them what's there, and let them even go look at it if they need to, and they may come up with suggestions as to how you approach things, and who you ask, and what kind of requests you need to make of the town.
I'll turn to my left here. I didn't mean to hijack the conversation.
You bounced out of your chair, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah,
You will be working here alone, is your intention?
Yeah,
You're not a sole, you'll be a sole proprietor, you won't be incorporated or any capacity. You have an investor in the front section. This is a financial advisor?
right.
Okay, so that's a commercial use. You could potentially be a commercial use and not have much inventory at all there. You could just request another commercial office space. Is that
From who?
possible? I mean, why would you want a retail establishment for a building 10 feet by 10 foot when you could probably sell some of this on Facebook Marketplace or,
I do have some things on eBay
okay,
and Facebook.
you just want to.
They aren't moving.
Okay, so you think the foot traffic would help out and sell more?
Yeah, hands-on to see what they're looking at. I think people get a little bit more excited about buying something.
You'd only have one person at a time come in, is that your?
Very
intent?
few people at a time, yeah.
Okay, very few. What would be your hours of operation?
12 to 5.
12 to 5. So it's really low profile, low key.
Yeah, very much.
So are you there, you're not there all the time, you live up the street still in your plan?
No.
You are going to be there,
I lived there for 25 years.
you did,
Yeah,
okay.
when it was built in
So
94.
where, didn't you live up the street on Main Street or something?
My parents in 73 owned a 200-year-old house down the street on Main Street. It's the house we lived in, and they went to work 12 houses away here in this building.
You got a massive amount of materials and things there. This is an ideal place for people visiting Old Wethersfield and looking at our town, the old town, to come visit and buy, really.
Yeah.
Based upon my tour of,
And my research, they like it. They like to come in and browse around.
I'm sure.
yeah. Dave?
It's just educating myself. What stops her or anybody in town to have just a real long garage sale? And don't do any of this. I'm just curious. I mean, someone in the neighborhood has a garage sale. We don't stop them from doing that. I'm not to say, I'm just trying to curious, where do you draw the line between a garage sale on every Saturday for the next year versus, you know, someone doing it just one Saturday, you know? Because obviously, it doesn't look like you're looking to have a lot of people in and out. You're just looking to,
Well, at some point, I'm an artist, I'll be painting, and I can sell my own artwork.
okay, so you want to kick it up a notch. And
I
really-
can,
Yeah.
when I get kind of started and sense that people like certain things. I've also sold my things, my own artwork at Circa Antiques down the street with 29 things that she's sold from my house over the past year.
Well, then, like Rich said, you gotta now.
My research is showing
you
me
need to
my
go-
things
you
are
gotta
still
go- You
selling.
gotta go through the exercise and go through the whole thing, if you're gonna go to that level, then there's no question.
It's a higher end of things, I think, than a tag sale.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Tom?
Mr. Chairman, I think you've quite eloquently put forth the issues she's facing. I would just supplementally add to that, you know, I don't want this, I don't think this commission wants to be an obstacle to you, but some of the issues that are presented are relatively complex, and some of the issues are beyond this commission to settle. For example, the change of use could affect life safety code provisions. That's something that this commission doesn't have control over. That's you know, handled, that's enforced by the local, you know, fire marshal, and those are state regulations. Same thing for building code issues. So I think it's really important that you have an understanding of sort of the environment in which you're putting your feet into, and have a full understanding of what the ramifications will be for each decision that you want to make with regards to your use or potential use of the property. And I would echo the commissioner's, the chairman's remarks about postponing any action by this commission until you have, the full opportunity to obtain a full understanding of what those issues are and how you want to handle them. Because ultimately, in terms of whatever you present to us or any other authority that works under regulations that are affected by what you want to do, the burden of coming forward with the evidence to justify the changes that you want to make will be upon you to do and to
Decide or
pass.
not, yeah.
So,
Could I just add to that? I think you're getting the message clearly that you should take some time and really investigate what's it going to cost you to do this. It's really what it comes down to. There's going to be an impact to you financially, especially if you have to sprinkle that small space. I mean, it's just a requirement. So, the alternative would be that you rent someplace and move things into there a little bit at a time. I mean, that's just an alternative. So I think you have to look at your situation and what the investment is, and does it make sense? And then if you can abide by what state regulations require for such a space, and you can afford it, then I think it would be wise for you to come back and say, okay, I understand it, I'm ready, I know what I'm getting into.
Yeah, I mean, the flip side is, it may not trigger anything like sprinklers, but I just want to make sure that she has the opportunity to understand what these memos mean, and that the people who issued the memos have a chance to understand what it is that you want to do, just basically to make it the shortest path from here to, either saying, yeah, let's do this or not.
Mr. Chairman, I hope it doesn't come to sprinklers, those are expensive.
Yeah,
Well, you recall that small house on Silas, Deane, where the woman wanted to change upstairs to downstairs, residential going downstairs? Well, she got caught in a sprinkler situation, and she decided she doesn't want to do it. She may come back to this commission, want to get flipped it back around because it's too expensive to do what it would take to make that usage change, So I'm not sure this is the case here, but you should do your homework and make sure it is or it isn't.
I'm just finding out from the commission here. Thank you.
Yep. We're really watching out for your interests.
Yeah, if anything should happen, I wasn't prepared, say. Yeah.
yeah. All right. Are you members of the public want to comment on this application, or are you just here?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, myself.
Yeah, I mean, even if we're going to continue it, I'm not going to make you wait 2 weeks to say what you want to say.
Kathy Clark. I am 271 Main Street and 330 Main Street and 133 Main Street. We currently are in the process of converting that one space down on 133 Main Street from residential to mixed use, just like Sue wants to do. And I fully support adding more business to Main Street. I think we need more retail. So we're just here to kind of hear what's going on, to make sure that, everything we're doing is right, but also just to support Sue because she is our neighbor down next to the creamery, and we would absolutely love more retail at that end of the street. So, that's it.
Thank you very much.
She needs sprinklers.
All right, anybody else? Guess if not, somebody make a motion to continue the public hearing to our next meeting?
Motion so made, Mr. Chairman.
When would that be? October,
What date? Yeah.
It's the second. October 3rd.
October 3rd, 7 o'clock here. Or if we don't have a meeting that night, it'll be the following one. All right. A motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? All right, thank you. And we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks, and everybody will have answers to all their questions by then.
Good luck.
See no other business. Do you have anything?
Don't other than to let you all know that I am working with our procurement office, and I'll be providing you all with drafts for the RFPs for both affordable housing and for the plan of conservation and development to go out within the next week or two.
Okay, excellent. All right. Anybody else have anything they want to talk about?
Just quick, just maybe for the benefit of the public, I understand, if we could do some of these in Zoom, it might be more beneficial to the public, so I don't have to come out here and more people can pay attention to it, like a single hearing like this one. Just throwing it out there.
What did I ever do to you? No, I understand. Anybody else in the public have public comments on general matters of planning and zoning? Right. If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Sorry.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.